Imagine waking up every day with a sense of peace, purpose, and control over your emotions, no matter what life throws at you. Picture yourself earning the respect and admiration of those around you effortlessly. Sounds like a dream. Well, it doesn't have to be. In this session, we're going to embark on a transformative journey together, exploring powerful lessons from an ancient philosophy that's more relevant today than ever. These insights will not only shape your character, but also revolutionize how others perceive you. So sit back, relax, and keep an open mind. This might just be the key to unlocking a life of respect, resilience, and true contentment. Let's dive right in. Building on that thought, let's dive into the first lesson, one that's incredibly profound yet seemingly simple. It's about the magic that unfolds when you fully embrace the present moment. This principle is at the very core of Stoic philosophy, shaping every aspect of their teachings, yet it's so often misunderstood or overlooked in our fast-paced, future-focused society. Now, you might be thinking, how does embracing the present earn me respect? It's a great question, and the answer lies deeper than you might expect. When you fully inhabit the now, you exude a sense of presence, of being fully engaged and attentive. And there's nothing more attractive or respectable than someone who gives their undivided attention to the moment or person in front of them. In our digital age of constant distractions, this quality is rare, yet deeply valued. Think about a time when you were speaking to someone, and they were genuinely listening, not just waiting for their turn to talk, not checking their phone, not looking over your shoulder, just fully present. Didn't you feel heard, valued, respected? And that's not all. When you are rooted firmly in the present, it reflects in your decision-making process as well. You make better choices because you're not driven by anxiety about the future or regrets about the past. You're not reacting out of fear or desire, but responding from a place of calm, clear-headed presence. This kind of decision-making, free from the cloud of emotional turbulence, is naturally respected because it's thoughtful, considered, and rational. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Embracing the present moment doesn't mean ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It simply means not getting lost in worry or regret. It's about accepting that the past can't be changed and the future can't be precisely controlled. All you really have is this moment, right here, right now, and the more you can stay focused and engaged with it, the more effective, peaceful, and yes, respected you'll be. So how can we cultivate this sense of presence in our daily lives? Start with small steps. Practice mindfulness in your everyday activities. Really pay attention when you're talking to someone. Notice the flavors when you're eating. Feel the sensation of your breath moving in and out of your body. The more you practice, the easier it will become. There's a certain beauty in being totally engaged in the present. You start to see, hear, and feel things that you may have otherwise missed. You start to appreciate the small, seemingly ordinary moments, and in doing so, you find a sense of peace and contentment that's incredibly compelling. By embodying this lesson, you'll not only earn the respect of others, but you'll also develop a deeper respect for yourself. Because once you can appreciate the richness of the present moment, you start to realize that you are enough, just as you are right here, right now. And that, my friends, is the power of now. Building upon our previous discussion, let's delve into another deeply enriching lesson. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, late for a meeting, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're stressed, anxious, your mind racing with what ifs. Stop. Breathe. Remember, there are things you cannot control, and this is one of them. This lesson is one of the core teachings of Stoicism. The Stoics believe that our lives are composed of things within our control and those beyond it. Our thoughts, our behaviors, our responses, these are under our control. However, external circumstances like the weather, traffic, or others' actions are not. By fully comprehending the difference between these two categories, we can better manage our reactions to life's unpredictable twists and turns. When we focus on issues beyond our control, we waste energy and increase our stress levels. By shifting our focus onto aspects within our control, we channel this energy into constructive responses. In the traffic scenario, for instance, you cannot control the jam, but you can control your reaction. You can choose to stress over it, or you can choose to accept it and use the time to listen to a podcast, plan your day, or simply breathe. This might seem like a small shift, but its impact is profound. By accepting the reality of the situation, we neutralize its power over us. We turn an obstacle into an opportunity. We reclaim our peace. Implementing this approach requires practice. It's easy to fall into old habits to blame external circumstances for our discontent. However, as we cultivate awareness, we begin to see our triggers, recognizing when we're attributing undue importance to things beyond our control. What we're seeking here is a balanced perspective. We're not negating the significance of external circumstances or advocating for apathy. What we are promoting is a healthier emotional response. Stoicism teaches us not to be devoid of emotions, but to minimize negative emotions that stem from situations beyond our control. The Stoics refer to this as achieving inner tranquility, a state of inner peace and calm, irrespective of the chaos that might be swirling around us. By focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, we minimize unnecessary stress, enhance our mental well-being, and embrace a more content and peaceful life. This practice also commands respect from others. When people see you maintaining your calm in the face of adversity, navigating life's storms with grace and composure, they can't help but admire you. This strength of character, this refusal to be swayed by external chaos, is an admirable trait that naturally invites respect. So, the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, remember this lesson. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it isn't, let it go. Channel your energy into your response, into actions that can positively affect the outcome. This is the path to a stress-free, fulfilling life that commands respect. Absolutely. Let's move forward on our transformative journey and delve deeper into the third lesson from our list. As we transition from understanding the importance of indifference to things beyond our control, we now encounter a concept that might seem contradictory at first glance: the practice of contentment. Contentment is an emotional state of satisfaction, a peaceful acceptance of oneself, one's life situation, and the world. It's a calming realization that in this moment, everything is as it should be. This Stoic lesson urges us to make peace with our present, embracing it with open arms and a grateful heart. Now you might wonder, doesn't striving for contentment mean settling for less? Doesn't it stifle ambition? The answer, my friends, is no. Contentment does not mean you stop striving for better. It does not mean you stop striving for better. It does not mean you sink into complacency or become passive about your circumstances. Instead, it suggests that you find peace in your present while also seeking improvement. Imagine standing on a beach, watching the waves. You could try to control them, but you would likely end up frustrated as the waves continue to crash uncontrollably. On the other hand, if you accept the waves as they are, finding peace in their natural rhythm, you can then use them to your advantage, learning to surf or swim with them rather than against them. This is contentment, a peaceful acceptance that forms a platform for further growth. Practicing contentment also means accepting ourselves as we are, with all our strengths and shortcomings. Sadly, we live in a world that often magnifies our imperfections, leaving us in a constant state of wanting to be someone else, somewhere else. But Stoicism teaches us that contentment starts with self-acceptance. It encourages us to stop comparing ourselves with others and start appreciating our unique journey. In this self-acceptance, we find a powerful tool that bolsters our self-respect and self-esteem, which in turn earns us the respect of others. People are naturally drawn to individuals who exude self-assuredness and self-contentment. It's the silent, radiant confidence that says, I am comfortable in my own skin. I accept myself as I am, while also striving for growth. Let's remember, our lives are a unique blend of experiences, emotions, victories, and mistakes. It's a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that deserves to be appreciated, not compared. So, the next time you find yourself feeling less than, doubting your worth, or longing for a different life, remember this Stoic lesson of contentment. Embrace your present, practice self-acceptance, and trust in your unique journey. In advocating contentment, Stoicism invites us to find tranquility in our everyday lives, to seek joy in the simplest things, and to foster a deeper connection with ourselves. It's a philosophy that not only encourages us to live in peace, but also to live in a way that commands respect. So, let's embark on this journey of contentment, shaping a life that's not just successful, but deeply fulfilling. Thank you for staying with me on this journey. I'm glad you're here. Remember to hit that subscribe button to continue to receive insights that can transform your life. Let's continue diving deeper into our journey of self-improvement. So far, we've learned to embrace the present, to be indifferent to what we can't control, and the value of contentment. All these lessons coalesce beautifully into the next one, a lesson that is the cornerstone of not only Stoicism, but of a fulfilled life, discipline. The ancients knew its worth. The Stoics, in particular, regarded it as a critical virtue, a key component to leading a good life. They believed that a disciplined mind leads to a disciplined life, a life that is not dictated by desires, but steered by rational thought and wise decisions. In the realm of Stoicism, self-discipline isn't just about willpower. It's about aligning your actions with your values, about choosing the difficult right over the easy wrong. It's about exercising restraint, not because you have to, but because you recognize the fundamental truth. What is pleasant now isn't necessarily good for the future. Consider common examples we all can relate to. The urge to hit the snooze button on your alarm. The desire for an extra slice of pizza when you're trying to eat healthy. The temptation to procrastinate when a task seems challenging. These are battlefields where self-discipline comes into play, where you must choose between short-term pleasure and long-term gain. Naturally, the practice of self-discipline isn't easy. If it were, everyone would be doing it. And that's why it's so respected. It's a trait that sets you apart. When others see you consistently sticking to your principles, making decisions that align with your long-term goals despite difficulties or temptness, they can't help but admire and respect you. But how can you cultivate self-discipline, you ask? It starts with small daily actions. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Start with something small like making your bed every morning. Then gradually increase the complexity of your tasks. Over time, these small acts of discipline snowball into substantial change. Self-discipline also needs a clear understanding of your values. Identify what truly matters to you. What are your non-negotiables? What are the goals you're striving towards? Once you're clear on these, it becomes easier to align your actions accordingly. Remember, self-discipline is a journey, not a destination. Don't be hard on yourself if you falter. The key is to get back on track, learn from your mistakes, and move forward. In life, we can't control everything, but we can control ourselves, our actions, our responses. And that control comes from self-discipline. It's a trait that earns you not only respect from others, but also a sense of self-respect, providing you with the inner strength to face whatever life throws at you. So, let's make a pact here, you and I. Let's commit to exercising our self-discipline muscle starting today. Let's become masters of ourselves and command the respect we deserve. Are you with me? Great. Let's move forward to our next lesson, embodying virtue. But before that, if you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on these life-changing insights. Transitioning from our previous discussion on self-discipline, let's delve deeper into a character trait that is central to Stoicism, and one that undeniably commands respect, virtue. Virtue, in its essence, is the manifestation of one's highest values and moral principles in every aspect of life. Stoicism identifies 4 cardinal virtues which we should all aspire to embody: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is good, what is evil, and what is neither. It's about making informed moral decisions, and it's a virtue that radiates respect. Wisdom isn't just about intelligence or knowledge, it's about applying that knowledge in real life, for our betterment and the betterment of those around us. Today, wisdom might manifest as understanding when to say yes or no, or knowing when to put your foot down or when to extend a helping hand. Courage, the second virtue, isn't just about physical bravery. It's about emotional and moral courage too. It is the willingness to do what is right, even when it's difficult or unpopular. Imagine standing up for a coworker who is being treated unfairly or admitting when you're wrong. These acts require courage. And when you display this courage, you gain the respect of those around you. Thirdly, we have justice. Justice in Stoicism isn't just about law and order. It's about treating others with fairness, giving everyone their due, whether in respect, in rights, or in resources. It's about standing up for equality and equity, and recognizing the inherent dignity of every person. When you act justly, you're not just earning respect, but also contributing to a fairer and more respectful society. Finally, temperance, often understood as moderation, is the virtue that keeps our desires in check. It's about not going to extremes, not being ruled by our desires or fears, and maintaining a balance in all we do. Temperance might mean not overindulging in food or drink, not losing your temper at the slightest provocation, or not jumping to conclusions without understanding the full picture. Now, you might think that embodying these virtues seems like a tall order, and you're not wrong. But remember, Stoicism is not about being perfect. It's about striving to be better than we were yesterday. And these virtues? They're not boxes to be checked off a list. They're guidance, a compass to direct our actions and decisions. By practicing these virtues, we become individuals of character and substance. We become the kind of people who are respected by others. More importantly, we become the kind of people who can look at ourselves in the mirror and feel a sense of pride and satisfaction. By integrating the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance into our lives, we glean a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We become better equipped to handle life's challenges and influence others positively. So, as we strive to earn respect from those around us, let's remember to cultivate these virtues within us, allowing them to guide our journey towards a life of purpose and meaning. Continuing from our previous discussion, let's now delve deeper into a Stoic principle that might initially seem paradoxical, but holds immense power and transformative potential: the practice of detachment. Detachment, in the Stoic sense, does not mean apathy or disinterest towards life or people. On the contrary, it refers to a conscious and intentional emotional management. It's about developing a mindful approach towards our feelings, understanding their transient nature, and not allowing them to dictate our actions or our state of mind. Think of a time when you've been swept up in anger. Remember how it clouded your judgment, leading you to actions you later regretted. Now, imagine if you could experience anger, acknowledge it, but not be controlled by it. That's the power of emotional detachment. Emotional resilience, as we refer it in modern psychology, is a key tenet of Stoicism, and central to this resilience is the practice of detachment. The Stoics believed that our emotions are responses to our judgments about external events, not the events themselves. For instance, it's not a traffic jam that frustrates you, but your judgment that it shouldn't be there. By shifting our perspective in this way, we can distance ourselves from immediate emotional reactions, gaining the space we need to respond more wisely and calmly. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This statement embodies the essence of emotional detachment. Now, you might wonder, why should you cultivate this seemingly challenging art of detachment? The answer is that it empowers you. It gives you freedom from the whims of fleeting emotions and makes you a master of your own mind. It helps you maintain an even keel in the stormy seas of life, making you appear steadier, reliable, and worthy of respect. People tend to trust and respect those who can handle life's ups and downs with equanimity. Practicing emotional detachment, however, doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It's about experiencing them fully, but from a place of understanding and control. It's like watching a wave rise and fall without getting swept away by it. Start small. Observe your emotions as they come and go. When a negative emotion arises, instead of reacting instantly, pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, this is just a feeling, it will pass. By doing so, you are not only training yourself to be more mindful and resilient, but also exuding a calm and composed demeanor that naturally draws respect from others. Remember, it's a practice, a muscle that strengthens over time. The more you practice detachment, the more resilient, balanced, and respectful you become. And in this resilience and balance, you'll find a deeper sense of peace, fulfillment, and yes, an earned respect from those around you. So, embrace the Stoic practice of emotional detachment and become the master of your own mind. After all, a life of respect, resilience, and true contentment is not just about what happens to you, but how you respond to it. Building on the insights we've previously discussed, let's now delve into an incredibly powerful, yet often overlooked aspect of Stoic philosophy, the graceful acceptance of change. Life, as we know it, is transient. Change is the only constant, said Heraclitus, a pre-Socratic philosopher. This truth is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a fundamental lesson we all need to learn and internalize. By accepting change gracefully, we not only ride the waves of life's unpredictability with more ease, but we also position ourselves to better attract respect and admiration from others. But why is this so? Firstly, consider the nature of change. It's inevitable, unpredictable, and often out of our control. It could be a sudden job loss, the end of a relationship, or an unexpected health crisis. When these waves hit, our natural inclination might be to resist, to struggle, to fight the tide. But Stoics advise the opposite. They advocate for acceptance, for understanding the transient nature of our experiences, and for adapting with grace and resilience. Imagine you're a tree and change is the wind. When a powerful gust comes, the rigid, unyielding tree may break. However, a flexible tree that sways with the wind, adapting to its force, stands strong. It's the same with us. Accepting and adapting to change makes us resilient, and resilience is a trait that's universally admired and respected. The ability to accept change gracefully also demonstrates emotional maturity. It shows that we're not governed by circumstances but by our responses to them. We're not victims of change but active participants in our own lives. We're capable of taking whatever comes our way and using it to grow, to learn, and to evolve. This level of self-awareness and emotional intelligence is magnetic. It draws people towards us, fostering a deep sense of respect. But how exactly can we cultivate this trait? The answer lies in our perspective. Stoics propose a shift in mindset, from viewing change as an adversary to seeing it as an opportunity for growth. This isn't about denying the difficulty or pain that can come with change. It's about acknowledging these feelings, but choosing not to let them dictate our lives. Practically speaking, this could mean reframing our thoughts. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can this make me stronger?" By actively seeking the silver lining, we train ourselves to be more adaptable and resilient. In conclusion, embracing change is a vital lesson from Stoic philosophy. It fosters resilience, demonstrates emotional maturity, and attracts respect from others. It's not an easy path, but it is a rewarding one, remember? We're not defined by what happens to us, but by how we respond to what happens, and that's a lesson worth embodying. As we journey further into the heart of this timeless philosophy, we come to an element that is fundamental to every individual aiming for a life of respect and personal fulfillment, the pursuit of wisdom. This is not a mere accumulation of information or facts, but rather an understanding of life itself and the principles that govern it. Stoicism places wisdom at the top of the virtues. It is seen as the guiding light, the compass that helps us navigate through life's toughest storms. Stoics believed that wisdom is the ability to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not, the wisdom to accept and adapt to change, and the wisdom to act in accordance with our virtues. To seek wisdom is to seek clarity over confusion, peace over turbulence, and reality over illusion. In a world overflowing with information, the wisdom to filter out the noise is what sets the wise apart, you see. Wisdom is not about knowing all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. As we delve into this pursuit of wisdom, we begin to understand that it is not just about acquiring knowledge, but also about its application. Wisdom is the application of knowledge in a way that promotes well-being and harmony. So, how do we seek wisdom in our daily lives? It starts with curiosity, a desire to learn and grow. It requires humility, the understanding that we do not know everything and that there's always space for growth. It requires reflection to learn not only from our experiences, but also from those of others. Moreover, wisdom involves learning to see things from different perspectives, to understand before we judge, and to listen before we speak. It's about learning to make decisions not based on fleeting emotions, but based on insight, understanding, and moral values. Let's take an everyday example. Suppose you're stuck in a traffic jam. An immediate reaction might be frustration or anger, both of which are not within your control and only serve to increase your stress. Wisdom, on the other hand, would involve recognizing the situation for what it is, understanding that it's beyond your control, and deciding to use the time in a more constructive way, maybe listen to an audiobook or practice mindfulness. As we incorporate wisdom into our lives, we begin to transform not just ourselves but also our relationships with others. We become more understanding, more patient, more compassionate. We earn respect naturally because people value our insights, our calm in the face of adversity, and our ability to make sound decisions. In this world where everyone is racing against time, Stoics remind us to pause, reflect, and seek wisdom. Because in wisdom, we find not just respect, but also peace, contentment, and true fulfillment. The path to wisdom is not a destination, but a journey of learning, unlearning, and relearning, a journey that demands patience, perseverance, and humility. But rest assured, it's a journey worth undertaking. As we wrap up this discussion on wisdom, remember, every step taken on the path of wisdom is a step towards a life of respect and personal fulfillment. So let's keep learning, let's keep growing, and most importantly, let's keep seeking wisdom. Continuing from our last discussion, let's venture deeper into the profound wisdom of Stoicism. One of the most fundamental elements of this philosophy, perhaps a trait that may seem unassuming yet has a profound impact on how we are perceived by others, is humility. Humility is not about being weak or submissive. It's about recognizing our place in the grand scheme of things. The Stoics established this by reminding us of the transitory nature of life and the vastness of the universe. It's about understanding that we are but a tiny speck in the cosmos, a brief flicker in the expanse of time. Grasping this concept allows us to develop a humble perspective towards our own existence. This humility, as per Stoic philosophy, is not a call to underestimate ourselves, but an invitation to respect the worth and value in others. It's about acknowledging the strengths and achievements of others without feeling threatened or diminished. It's about celebrating the success of those around us, understanding that their triumphs do not diminish our own. Humility, in essence, is about equivalence, the recognition that we are all humans, grappling with our own struggles, and each of us possesses certain strengths and weaknesses. This recognition enables us to treat everyone we encounter with kindness, understanding, and respect. We listen more, we empathize more, and we judge less. Practicing humility allows us to be more open and receptive to the world around us. We become better learners as we are not blinded by arrogance or the mistaken belief that we already know it all. We become better leaders as we lead with understanding and empathy, not with arrogance or domination. We become better friends, partners, and colleagues as we appreciate and value the contribution of others in our lives. Moreover, it's a fact universally acknowledged that humility naturally attracts respect. People are drawn to those who exude a quiet confidence, a person who doesn't need to trumpet their achievements or belittle others to feel good about themselves. When we practice humility, we naturally engender respect and admiration from those around us. To truly embody humility, we need to internalize the Stoic practice of self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and notable Stoic, was known for his reflective journaling, where he would scrutinize his actions and thoughts without bias. This practice of honest self-appraisal fosters humility as it keeps our ego in check. In conclusion, humility is not just a virtue, it's a strength. By embracing humility, we not only make room for growth and learning, but also foster relationships built on respect and mutual understanding. It's a cornerstone of Stoicism, a key to a fulfilling life, and a magnet for genuine respect from others. So let's allow humility to guide our interactions, shape our perceptions, and lead us towards a life of respect and contentment. So, we've navigated through the first 9 lessons, each one building on the last, carving out a path towards living a life of virtue, humility, and wisdom. Now, we've arrived at the final and arguably the most impactful lesson. This is the trait that will not only establish your respectability, but also empower you to face any adversity life throws your way. Yes, I'm talking about resilience. Resilience, in the Stoic philosophy, is a virtue that stands above all others. It's about learning to ride the waves of life, not just when the sea is calm, but particularly when storms hit. Resilience is the ability to take setbacks, not as devastating blows, but as opportunities for growth, understanding that the hardest moments in our lives are often the ones that shape us the most. Let me tell you a little secret. The most respected people aren't those who have never faced adversity, but those who have been hit, fallen, and got back up, time and time again. These are the individuals who have stared life's challenges in the face, and instead of surrendering, found the strength to push forward. You see, it's not about the absence of adversity. We all face it. No, it's about how we handle it. And the Stoics understood this. They believed that every obstacle we face in life is an opportunity to practice some virtue. Patience, courage, humility, resourcefulness. Picture this scenario. You've been working on a project at work for months. You've poured your heart and soul into it. And then, just before the launch, something goes wrong. Terribly wrong. What do? Do you crumble under the pressure? Allow the disappointment to engulf you? Or do you take a deep breath, pull yourself together, and start figuring out how to fix it? Resilience is about being the latter person. It's about understanding that failure isn't the end, but just a stepping stone on the journey to success. It's about dusting yourself off, learning from your mistakes, and continuing to move forward. It's about not letting the fear of failure stop you from trying again. So, how do we cultivate resilience? Well, the Stoics had some advice on that too. They suggested practicing premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This is a strategy where you visualize the worst-case scenario and think about how you could cope with it, how you could overcome it. This prepares you for adversity, so you're never caught off guard. And through this practice, you develop the strength to withstand anything life throws your way. So, my friends, resilience is not just about survival. It's about thriving in the face of adversity. It's about becoming a stronger, wiser, and more courageous version of yourself with each challenge you overcome. And that, in itself, is an admirable quality that commands respect. In the grand scheme of life, it's not the hardships we face, but how we rise from them, that defines our character. This is the power of resilience. And once you master it, you'll command respect not just from others, but from yourself. And isn't that the greatest respect of all?